Evander, what did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
Yeah, the knee.
So he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good fighter.
What did I think?
Yeah.
You know, I love seeing Mike out there doing what he loves to do. It's his passion. But I don't know. I think Jake looked a little soft tonight. He don't look like a real boxer, a pro boxer that's been training the last 10 years. So, you know, he needs to come see me one day. A guy that's in his prime that's going to walk him down and have that cardio. So.
Did you expect him to knock Mike Tyson out tonight?
I did, yeah. I thought, you know, Mike's a little bit older. You know, he had a problem. You know, they had to push back the first fight because, you know, he had like a stroke on a plane or something like that.
Yeah,
so
also.
I was just scared. I didn't want to see Mike get hurt. I'm happy he's walking out of that ring and he's healthy tonight. So super happy. Everything went well, and you know, it was a spectacle. All the fans enjoyed the show.
I knew Jake Paul was gonna win. I felt it in my heart.
Yeah?
I knew Trump was gonna win.
What made you know that? Yeah, what made you know that?
I just, you know, he's 27 years old. He's been working hard, and you know, I just saw it. I watched the progression of who he is as a boxer, and I was the only one that was cheering when everyone else was booing him. That's my dog. I just knew it. I felt it.
Who do you want to see him fight next, in your opinion? Or who would you like to see him fight next?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Will we
But I
ever
was
see you
excited
in the
for
ring?
this one.
It was disappointing. Would you like to see it again? Would you like to see Mike Tyson fight again in the ring, an exhibition match against? I always want to see Mike fight. Yeah. Is this kind of what you expected? He didn't get off fast. What could he done different? Why? Did Jake Paul look a little bit slow to you?
I'll be like, yeah.
Well, man, it was a great atmosphere. There was a lot of people here. It was amazing.
If we go talk about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, like what surprised you the most from both? Were you surprised that Mike was able to last eight rounds?
Hey, it was because, I don't know, man. I mean, I just think it was good. I mean, I think it was entertaining up to a point. And, you know, it was okay. The people seemed to, you know, kind of be enjoyed, especially the anticipation of him coming in the ring was amazing.
Evander Holyfield, I talked to him yesterday. He said he'd be willing to get in there with Mike Tyson.
I bet he will.
Yeah, like, I remember I asked you, after seeing this, would you still want to see it?
I'm good. I mean, I think we all need to just sit down and retire and just chill out. You know, just like, it's a young man's sport. It's for these young guys.
Yeah. What should be next for Jake Paul?
We can keep packing him out like this. He can fight anybody.
Oh.
He can fight Derrick James.
He can fight Derrick James.
I'm joking.
I didn't see any progression, but you know, I like how Jake is a genius at marketing. Man, it is phenomenal to see that a YouTuber can get 60,000 people in the freaking arena. Man, listen, I be taking notes, even though I don't really like Jake like that. Like, I take notes, you know, and I'm happy that the fight went all the rounds today. I seen Jake trying to set Uncle Mike Tyson up for the okie doke with the jab to the body and the overhand right. I seen him trying to set him up. Thank God Uncle Mike didn't go for it. He fought a good 8 rounds. Hey, Jake won, but overall, it's a win for the boxing fans, and it's definitely a win for me for Mike Tyson, because I just love him, win, lose, or draw. I love him.
So who should Jake fight now, in your opinion?
Hey, you say you want to fight Canelo. Now, this is what I want to understand about the men's in boxing. Huh? This is what I want to understand.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
This is what the GWOP don't understand.
We'll let China.
If Jake Paul, right, and y'all complain and say, oh, he's not a real boxer, he's bad for boxing, this and that, he ain't that good of a boxer, why the hell y'all won't get in the ring and fight him and beat him?
We're all hoping to see a little flash of the old Mike, and we saw like someone who, you know, I wish I'd seen the old Mike. You know, not to take anything from Jake, but you know, Mike looks his age, and you know, he should. Look, I take that back. He did a lot better than a lot of 58-year-olds would have done. But you know,
Is Jake good for the sport?
I think it is. About 70,000 people out. Me and Mike. So, like, I think it certainly brought people out.
What did you make of Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano?
look, another tough fight to score, another tough fight to call a winner. I had Amanda by a round maybe. It's tough to argue either way. I mean, it's a rough fight. They fight, they're going to fight 100 times, and you can argue. You're not going to get a clear decision, out of any of them. They're evenly matched fighters. You can argue either way, but it was an amazing fight to watch.
It was good to see him back at it, man. I wish he'd do more punches. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good entertaining night with great fights.
Do you think Jake took it easy on him a little bit, Seth?
Well, I'm glad he did if that's what he did. But,
Amen.
Mike didn't throw a lot of punches.
Thank you, Seth. We appreciate you.
The fight we've all been waiting for, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, just went down in a night that electrified fans worldwide. Before stepping into the ring, both Tyson and Paul radiated unbreakable confidence. Tyson, a legend known for his fierce mentality, assured fans he was as ready as ever and eager to remind everyone why he's a force in boxing. On the other side, Jake Paul, younger and relentless, vowed to shock the world, claiming he had the perfect plan to bring down the icon. Both fighters promised fireworks, and each believed they'd leave victorious. Jake Paul wasn't fazed by the intensity of Mike Tyson's brutal workouts or his legendary reputation. As reporters pressed him on Tyson's conditioning and notorious killer instinct, Paul dismissed it with the confidence of a fighter who feels he has nothing to fear.
Yeah, it's cute, I fear no man, so I want him to be that old savage Mike. He says he's gonna kill me. Is that what you're gonna do, Mike? Because
Paul's words weren't just casual trash talk. They were a bold challenge to Tyson's reputation. For Paul, this wasn't about intimidation. It was about daring Tyson to bring his best. To Jake, winning would only matter if he conquered the fiercest version of Tyson, the one fans remember as a knockout king.
I'm ready. I want that killer. I want the hardest match possible Friday night, and I want there to be no excuses from everyone at home when I knock him out. So is that what you're gonna bring, Homicidal?
With a glare and a smirk, Paul threw down the gauntlet, making it clear that he wanted no excuses from Tyson's fans when the night ended. This was his moment to make a statement, and he was ready to face whatever homicidal fire Tyson could bring. Jake Paul's bold challenge hung in the air, daring Mike Tyson to live up to his legendary persona. But Tyson, calm and composed, didn't take the bait. When asked how he'd respond to Paul's taunts, the heavyweight icon kept it simple, letting his decades of experience speak louder than words.
I'm just ready. That's all I can say. I'm just ready.
Tyson's reply showed the quiet confidence of a fighter who's been through it all. No hype, no theatrics, just pure focus. For Tyson, there was no need to match Paul's words. He knew that the real message would be delivered in the ring.
Is that he's a manufactured killer. He's the killer that papers and TV made. I'm a natural-born killer. That's what you said. That we felt in our bones. That's what everyone who grew up watching you remembers. Can you expand on that? Why is he manufactured and why are you for real?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you can expand on that. I mean, can you give me...
It's just what I said.
It's just that, all right. That's cool.
Tyson's calm reply captured the essence of his approach. No drama, no distractions, just readiness. While Paul looked to provoke and hype up the fight, Tyson's quiet assurance signaled that he was there to handle business. For Tyson, actions in the ring would always mean more than words outside of it. Jake Paul didn't hold back when asked about Tyson's calm demeanor and his refusal to engage in trash talk. Unbothered by Tyson's cool response, Paul brushed it off as a difference in mindset, doubling down on his own confidence. To him, Tyson's restraint only made Paul more determined to prove his point.
Whatever he wants to think, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but the deadliest weapon on the planet is manufactured, and that's a nuke.
Paul's words were a bold statement about his own preparation and self-belief. For him, the fight wasn't just about skill, it was about wielding a force he claimed was unstoppable. He framed himself as a manufactured weapon, ready to bring explosive power into the ring, contrasting Tyson's composed approach with his own fiery determination to dominate. Jake Paul brought up an infamous moment from Tyson's past, the 1996 fight against Evander Holyfield, where Tyson bit off a part of Holyfield's ear in a heated exchange. The scandal made headlines worldwide and remains one of the most talked about incidents in boxing history, forever tying Tyson to a reputation of unpredictability and raw aggression in the ring.
What is going on with your ear over there, Jake, if I could just ask that?
I'm not getting my shit bit off on Friday night, so I got my diamond spiked ear covers right there.
With a grin, Paul turned the notorious moment into a joke, showcasing his typical flair and unshaken confidence. By poking fun at one of Tyson's darkest moments, he aimed to keep the mood light and maybe even rattle Tyson just a little. For Paul, the comment was a way to remind everyone that while he respected Tyson's legacy, he wasn't intimidated by it. As the press conference delved into Tyson's legendary past, a reporter asked him about the influence of his first trainer, the late Cus D'Amato, a man who shaped Tyson into the fighter he would become and helped mold his fierce mentality. D'Amato's impact on Tyson is immeasurable, and the question was intended to tap into that history and sentiment to see how Tyson felt his beloved mentor might view this fight.
Your first trainer, the late great Cus D'Amato, what do you think he would say of this spectacle going down on Friday?
He'd be very happy.
Tyson's brief, understated response showed that he wasn't interested in long-winded explanations or nostalgia. Instead, he stayed grounded, offering just a glimpse of the respect he still holds for his mentor. The reporter then pushed further, asking what advice D'Amato might give him for facing Jake Paul, a question Tyson responded to in the same simple, almost reverent tone.
What do you think he would tell you about how to beat Jake Paul?
He would be very happy.
Tyson's repeated answer carried weight in its simplicity. It seemed to reflect his belief that D'Amato would support him without reservation, proud of him just for stepping back into the ring. It was a rare, quiet moment where Tyson chose to keep his thoughts personal, letting his bond with his late trainer remain unspoken but deeply felt. In the pre-fight press conference, Jake Paul spoke with his signature bravado, making it clear he didn't see this fight with Tyson as one that would go the distance. With both men known for their power, Paul painted a vivid picture of the coming clash, promising fans an explosive showdown that would end before the final bell.
It's going to be a war, and we're both heavy hitters. It's not going the full 16 minutes.
Paul's words were a declaration of intent. He wasn't interested in a drawn-out battle. He was determined to deliver a knockout performance that would cement his standing as a real force in the ring. For Paul, this fight was more than just a match. It was his opportunity to make a statement, and he wanted it to end in nothing less than a definitive finish. When a reporter asked Tyson about the significance of his comeback, given everything he's faced in his life and career, the question was loaded with emotion. At 58, returning to the ring is a monumental feat, and fans were eager to hear Tyson reflect on what this moment meant to him personally and professionally, especially as he faced the younger, louder Jake Paul.
To pull off this epic comeback and beat Jake Paul on Friday night.
I'm just ready to fight. You know, I've said everything I had to say. There's nothing else to say. I'm just looking forward to fighting.
Tyson's response was brief but powerful, embodying the mentality of a seasoned warrior focused solely on the fight ahead. There was no need for elaborate reflections or dramatic statements. For Tyson, the significance of his return wasn't about words, it was about action. This moment was his answer to any doubts, ready to prove himself in the only way he knows how, by stepping back into the ring. The atmosphere in the press conference grew serious as a reporter brought up one of Tyson's most intense statements, his reflection on fear and the stakes of his return. Tyson had once said that the fear of losing was more painful than death itself, a sentiment that encapsulated his fiery mentality. Now, with the fight against Jake Paul looming, the question was, what does Tyson fear losing, and how does that quote apply to this pivotal moment in his career?
You lose if you lose this fight. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lose.
But just you say that in the last minute of the second.
I am not gonna lose. Did you hear what I said?
Thank you.
Tyson's reply was delivered with an undeniable intensity, his words cutting through the room. There was no hesitation, no doubt, just the unshakable confidence of a fighter who had seen everything and was determined to walk away with victory. Tyson's response reflected not just his fear of losing, but his belief that defeat was simply not an option for him, especially after all he had overcome. As the press conference continued, a reporter highlighted the oddsmaker's stance on the fight, noting that despite Tyson's legendary status, many still favored Jake Paul. The question was aimed at understanding how Tyson felt about being considered the underdog, especially given his vast experience in the ring compared to Paul's relatively short and controversial career.
The odds say differently. How disrespected does that make you feel, and why do you think you are the underdog?
Thank you. Hey, I'm fine with everything. I'm fine with everything.
Tyson's response, accompanied by a light laugh, showed that he wasn't fazed by the odds or the disrespect. It was a reminder of Tyson's unflappable nature. He had always thrived in challenging situations. Whether the world saw him as the underdog or not didn't matter. Tyson's confidence was rooted in his experience and the raw belief that when he stepped into the ring, he was a force to be reckoned with. As Jake Paul continued to hype up the fight, he was asked about his thoughts on Tyson's legendary presence in the ring. Paul, never one to shy away from brash comments, turned the question into another chance to assert his confidence. He made it clear that he saw the outcome in his favor and was already picturing himself standing tall over a fallen Tyson. Paul's remark was a bold statement of his belief that he would come out victorious, underscoring his confidence in his ability to take down the boxing legend. The image he painted, standing over Tyson while the champ lay on the canvas, was the kind of trash talk that has become a trademark of Paul's persona. But beneath the bravado, it was clear that Paul saw this as a chance to make the ultimate statement, beating a legend to solidify his own place in boxing history. Jake Paul has faced criticism throughout his boxing career, with many questioning his quick rise and the legitimacy of his opponents. A reporter pointed this out, asking Paul to respond to those who argue that most established boxers don't follow his path at this stage in their careers. The question tapped into the ongoing debate about Paul's unorthodox journey in the sport, especially considering how fast he's moved from social media fame to fighting some of the most talked about names in boxing.
That just means I'm doing something right, and no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to, but I put it on the line against some of the best in the sport every single time, and that's why I'm here on Netflix against the biggest name in boxing right now.
Jake's response was a blend of pride and defiance. He wasn't backing down from the criticism. Instead, he embraced it, flipping it into proof that he was doing something groundbreaking. By highlighting his journey from underdog to challenger, Paul positioned himself as someone who earned his spot through risk and perseverance, not just hype. His mention of being on Netflix with Tyson was a bold statement, reinforcing his claim that he's become a major player in the sport, regardless of how critics view his career path. Jake Paul's words about his unconventional career trajectory underscored his defiance against the critics who have doubted him from the start. His unwavering confidence wasn't just a defense of his choices, it was a declaration that he's cementing his place in boxing, no matter the criticisms or doubts surrounding him. His rise, often seen as too fast or too flashy, now appeared as the result of his bold approach, not just luck or social media fame. With Tyson standing as the ultimate test, Paul embraced the pressure, seeing it as proof that his career had gone beyond the spectacle. It was now a serious journey that demanded attention. The Netflix deal with Tyson only added weight to his claim that he was among the biggest names in the sport, shifting the focus back to the fight and his aspirations to break through to the next level. As the final chapter in this saga of confidence, self-belief, and a relentless drive to prove himself, Jake Paul's words were a signal that he was ready to face whatever came next in his journey, starting with his monumental showdown against Tyson. The fight between these two isn't just about boxing, it's about legacy, ego, and the challenge of overcoming a living legend. The stage has been set for a collision of eras, where Jake Paul hopes to rise even higher, and Tyson aims to reaffirm why he is, and always will be, one of the most formidable figures in the sport's history.